Hi guys, this is another very old special book of mine, and it's called Bambi Gets Lost. Hi Bambi, said Thumper. I hopped in to say that this is a wonderful morning to play. He found Bambi's mother and said, "Will you please let Bambi come play with me under the trees?" "Yes, but stay very close to home while you play, because you'll get lost if you go far away." "Oh boy," shouted Bambi, "we're going to have fun." "You said it," cried Thumper. "Come, Bambi, let's run." Forgetting what Bambi's wise mother had said, they soon left the path for the hill far ahead. They came to the hilltop, and what did they see? Two cute little bear cubs way up in a tree. The bears were good climbers because they had claws like those on the ends of a pussycat's paws. Right close to where Bambi and Thumper were standing, a nice friendly bird glided in for a landing. "If I had 2 wings," Thumper told him, "I'd fly, and then we could race through the clouds in the sky." The bird looked surprised. "Now that would be funny. Imagine 2 wings on the back of a bunny." "Say, Thumper," said Bambi, "we've come pretty far. I think we are lost. Do you know where we are?" "Why, sure," Thumper said. "Don't you worry. You'll see. I'll get us home safely. Just leave it to me." When Bambi bent over to smell a pink rose, he saw something yellow in front of his nose. "You must be a bird," Bambi said. "Is that so?" The yellow thing fluttered its wings and said no. "If you had said butterfly, that would be true." And flapping its wings, off the butterfly flew. When Bambi leaped over a wildflower bed, a black and white animal poked up its head. "Look, Thumper," cried Bambi, "a black and white rose with small shiny eyes and 2 ears and a nose." "A rose?" giggled Thumper. "Your eyesight is punk. This isn't a rose, it is Flower the skunk." "Hi, Flower," called Bambi. "I'm happy to meet you." "I'll race you," said Flower, "and I bet I can beat you." "You're silly," said Thumper. "You're just a big talker. We move very fast, but you're only a walker." A little while later, they stopped in the shade, and Bambi said, "Thumper, I'm really afraid. I think we are lost in the forest, don't you?" "Our friends," answered Thumper, "will help us get through." They waved to the bumblebees buzzing on blossoms and shouted, "Hi, fellows," to foxes and possums. They greeted the bobolinks, field mice and loons, doodlebugs, porcupines, owls, and raccoons.
They're probably lost.
Yeah. "Say, Possum," they cried, "can you show us the trail?" But Possum just snored as she hung by her tail. The bumblebees bumbled, the doodlebugs dooed, the loons only laughed, and the owls only hooed. "The owls are supposed to be wise," said the mice. "Speak nicely to one, and he'll give you advice." So Bambi spoke nicely to one grumpy owl, who answered quite wisely with rather a growl. "Run that way, my boy, till you come to a lake, and there you'll discover the trail you should take. But hurry, keep racing as long as there's light, or you'll be caught in the woods overnight." They thanked the wise owl, and as fast as they could, they started to race to the lake in the wood. A mole stuck his head out and stopped the whole race, when Thumper, not seeing him, stepped on his face. Then Bambi bent down very close to the mole, whose head was still sticking up out of the hole. "We're sorry," said Bambi. "That was a mistake. Can you tell us how we can get to the lake?" The mole cleaned his whiskers and blinked at the light, and not even answering, sank out of sight. A squirrel jumped down from the trunk of a tree. He said, "I can tell you, just leave it to me. Stop wondering which of the trails you should take. Just follow your nose and you'll come to the lake." And since that was all he could take time to say, he picked up an acorn and hurried away. They followed their noses and raced on ahead, and there was the lake, as the squirrel had said. On top of a lily pad, almost unseen, sat something quite lumpy and shiny and green. You see him?
Yeah.
Said Bambi, "What are you?" And leaped to a log. The lumpy thing answered, "Redeep, I'm a frog." "We're lost," Bambi said. "Can you show us the way?" "Redeep," said the frog, and that's all he would say. The frog's 20 cousins, 9 sons and a daughter, swam to the top and jumped out of the water. All over the lake there were frogs by the heap, all jumping and splashing and croaking.
Croak.
No, redeep.
Redeep.
I wanted you to try it. Just then, a young otter took Bambi aside and showed him a mud bank where otters would slide. "I'd love to watch longer," said Bambi. "You're great, but we must go home, for it's getting quite late. We're lost, and we know it. Which way should we go? Just how can we find our way home? Do you know?" "Of course," said the otter. "It's easy as pie. Just follow this brook, and you'll be there. Goodbye." So Bambi kept running, and Thumper kept hopping. The 2 tired friends hurried home without stopping. Some fish swam beside them and cried to each other, "Hooray! Bambi's found the way home to his mother." His mother at home had been worried and missed him, but now she was happy and hugged them and kissed them. "Although we are lost, we are home," Bambi said. "I thought I would never see you or my bed." "That's silly," said Thumper. "You're only a kid. I told you I'd get you back home, and I did." That night in his home in the wood, dark and deep, as Bambi was dreaming, he said in his sleep, "A fish is a swimmer, an otter's a slider, a bear is a climber, a bird is a glider, a skunk is a walker, a frog is a jumper, and also a hopper like our little Thumper." That's the end. He saw so many animals when he got lost, but he made it home.
Yeah, they showed him a way.
And our Bible tonight is from Exodus 16 and 17. Food in the desert. The Israelites set up a camp in the desert. As the days went by, the food they had brought with them ran out. Where would they find more food? The people were hungry. They began to complain to Moses and Aaron, their leaders. Moses asked God for help. That night, flocks of quail appeared all over the camp. The people caught the small birds and roasted them for dinner. The next morning, there was a layer of dew around the camp. When it was gone, thin flakes like frost were left behind on the sand. Moses told the people, "This is bread that God has given you to eat." They called the bread manna. Manna was white and tasted like wafers made with honey. That sounds yummy.
Yeah.
Every morning, manna rained down from the sky, so the people always had enough to eat. After a while, the Israelites moved on to another place. Manna still rained from the sky, but there was no water, and the people were thirsty. Again, they complained to Moses. Moses cried out to God, "What am I to do with these people?" God told Moses to go to a big rock at a place called Horeb. Moses took with him the staff that he had used to divide the waters of the Red Sea. He touched the rock, and a stream of water came out. The Israelites still had a long journey ahead of them. With manna, quail, and water, God showed them that he was with them.
See?
That's tomorrow. This is where he got the water out of the rock.
Yeah.
God took care of his people.
Yeah. So you wouldn't be hungry and thirsty.
That's right. I hope you liked the story tonight. Good
Good
night.
night.